Hi everyone, it's Giselle with a message about breaking momentum and why it is absolutely vital to do it if you find yourself in a dynamic with your twin flame or soulmate or whatever path you're currently on that is not desirable. I have quite a few new clients actually, and a lot of them come to me with similar questions initially. Okay, so I found myself stuck in a pattern or behavioral place with my beloved at the moment that really isn't good. It's not good for me. It makes my confidence very low. It's not good for them because they seemingly appear like they're repressing their true feelings. And, you know, how can we get things back to how they were? And what I say to them is, look, it is vital at this point that we switch up the energies through breaking this current momentum. What do you need to do to break the momentum? Cut off the energies temporarily, don't panic, for 3 to 4 weeks. And during that time, do not indulge in thinking about them and contacting them, and, you know, it will create more of the same, because if you've already built a very negative dynamic, then continuing on in that energy is not going to help either of you. It's not certainly going to give you any confidence in the situation because you are creating more and more. It's like you have the option to go on different routes, you know, to get to the destination where you want to be. But currently, you are driving in the wrong direction. And if you don't break this momentum, you are going to continue to drive in the wrong direction and just grow more of that. And I feel that people are struggling with the aspect of breaking loose, cutting off that energy, which includes them removing themselves physically from that person and their life and their communication. Temporarily, they initially start to panic because they think, well, if I remove myself, that means that they are going to never come back to me. You know, they start to panic and think really disastrous outcomes. And that's not the case at all, because your true twin flame will not just remove energetically out of your life just because you've decided to take back your power and take a step back from the situation. If you're acting out of fear and going, no, but I have to stay in their life because if I remove myself, they're going to be gone forever, that's not going to help you. And during this time, you need to be open to whatever outcome. If this is your true twin, then they will not go anywhere. If this was a false, a catalyst, or whatever situation that wasn't actually meant for you, then they will disappear. But isn't that a good thing? Because then you're making way for the correct person to come in, the one that you do desire. Clinging onto a situation out of fear is not going to get you anywhere, but in more fear, in more of the same, probably worse than what you're already experiencing right now. Taking back your power and stepping out of that dynamic is displaying your worth, displaying your self-respect and self-love to create a better situation. Because through you wanting to cling on to this, it doesn't show self-love or self-worth at all. It shows dependency, codependency, desperation. And those are not energies that are going to attract and magnetize a person back to you. So it is vital that you step out of the energy, out of that situation for at least 3 to 4 weeks. And then you can start to create more of what you want. But this is vital, and this is why I sometimes leave people with that, you know, we need to break the momentum, so we'll just disconnect you for 3 to 4 weeks and do not consider anything else. And for some of them that works, and that's cool and it's awesome because they're going to make the fastest progress. But some, come back to me just 2 days later saying, oh, but I can't stop thinking about him, I can't help this, I can't help that. You're not trying hard enough. You really need to stop. You really need to step out and, messaging them and trying to desperately hold on to them and make them come back to you is not going to serve you at this time. It's really not. And so then they, a lot of the times they'll come back and say, oh, by the way, it's been more than 3 weeks, and I'm still stuck in this. Because you didn't properly step out of the energy. You've continued on where you were. You continue to contact them. You continue to think about them. You continue to actively indulge in these thoughts. But what did I say? We had to step out of the momentum, and you still haven't done so. So it gets utterly frustrating for both you and me, because I'm trying my best to help, yet you're not following the instructions. And I know it's a simple instruction, but a very difficult execution of the instruction, because it's going to be hard. You're not going to be able to stop thinking about them, but at least try your best to break that energy. I've given you the tools. It's up to you whether you do it or not, but you can then not come back and say that if nothing's happened, everything's still stagnant, because you have just created more of it through not following the instruction close enough. And it really does work. And it's only 3 weeks. What is that in the grand scheme of things? If you think that they're going to be disappeared forever after 3 weeks, well, then there's no hope, is there? So you have to have a bit of faith in yourself, in the journey. And if this person was a false twin, then at least you've now made room for the true twin to come in. So there shouldn't be anything holding you back or making you afraid. Don't act of fear. Act out of love for yourself, respect for yourself, and courageous, brave energy, and then you can go to the next step. We won't discuss the next step yet, because people get too eager and are like, aha, wait, I've broken the energy for 2 days, let's get into the next step. No. It's not going to work. You have to give it at least 3 to 4 weeks. You have to. It is vital. It is learning a different behavior for yourself and breaking the old pattern that you were in with them in the first place. It baffles me sometimes that people come to me for help and then don't follow the guidance and the advice that I give. It's like, yeah, that's a bit of a waste of a session. And also, I don't want you to feel like you've paid money for something that doesn't seem to be working for you, but it works. It works for people who are able to stay on that path. Don't keep cycling in the wrong direction. I've given you the directions, you just have to follow. Yes, it's hard. It's not simple directions. Well, it's simple directions. It's not simple execution, as I said, because your emotions are going to get in the way. Your doubts and fears are going to get in the way. But this is a challenge in time. Hence the death card. We need to uncreate this current momentum to be able to create the desired momentum. It's like with anything, really, when you are rowing and you have a certain pattern with your the paddles that you use to row and the water going a certain direction, it's going to be not very easy to then turn around, make a U-turn in the water and go the other way, especially if the current is against you. But you're going to have to do it if you want to break out of this momentum. Otherwise, you will continue to create more and more of your undesired energy, undesired dynamic, and therefore undesired outcome. Be brave, be bold, set yourself a challenge for 3 to 4 weeks. If you can make it through this time, you are on the right track and you can make it through pretty much anything. So if this is applicable to you, I hope this has helped. If you find yourself unable to break the current situation that you're in, this is the way to do it. Be courageous and go for it. Challenge yourself. 3 to 4 weeks, that's all it takes. Thank you all for listening. If you'd like to connect with me, my details are in the link. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.